Listen, I'm going to tell you something that the food industry doesn't want you to know. You think you're eating healthy. You're buying products labeled natural, checking every label, doing everything right. But what if one of the most common foods in your pantry, foods you eat multiple times a week, is actually feeding your cancer cells and making them grow faster? I'm not here to scare you. I deal in data. I've spent decades researching this, and the data is shocking. Most people have no idea they're doing this to themselves. But by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which foods to avoid, why they're dangerous, and most importantly, what to do instead. Stay with me. Let's start with the biggest culprit, refined sugar. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dr. Lee, everybody knows sugar is bad. You're right about one thing. Most people do know it. But here's where they're wrong. They think sugar is just empty calories. It's not. Not even close. At the cellular level, something dangerous happens. When you consume refined sugars and high glycemic foods, white bread, pastries, sugary cereals, those healthy granola bars, your blood glucose spikes, insulin follows. And cancer cells, they're glucose hogs. They consume glucose 10 to 15 times faster than normal, healthy cells. Scientists call this the Warburg Effect. It was discovered nearly a century ago. But the glucose consumption isn't the whole story. Here's what most people miss. Elevated insulin levels create a specific hormonal environment, one that actively promotes tumor growth and metastasis. Think of insulin as a cellular growth signal. It tells cells to expand, multiply, thrive. Cancer cells listen to that signal better than anyone. My research team at the Angiogenesis Foundation investigated exactly this. We examined metabolic patterns in cancer patients with high blood sugar versus those with controlled glucose levels. The results were striking. Patients with uncontrolled blood glucose showed accelerated tumor progression, more aggressive growth patterns, and faster angiogenesis. That's the formation of blood vessels that feed tumors. Then there's the Harvard data. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition published a massive study tracking 38,000 women for more than a decade. Women who consumed the highest amounts of refined carbohydrates and sugary foods had significantly elevated colorectal cancer risk. Not slightly, significantly. Here's what most people don't grasp. It's not about one soda, one pastry, one low-fat yogurt with 20 grams of added sugar. It's the chronic exposure, day after day, week after week, year after year. Your pancreas exhausts itself. Insulin stays chronically elevated. You're literally creating a 5-star restaurant for cancer cells. Food manufacturers understand this perfectly. They removed fat, which makes you feel full, and replaced it with sugar. It's a metabolic trap. Millions walk right into it without realizing. Now let's talk about processed meats. Bacon, deli meat, sausages, hot dogs, processed ham. I know these foods taste amazing. They're convenient. They're comforting. But the research here isn't nuanced. It's actually one of the clearest windows we have into food and cancer risk. Here's the mechanism. During processing, curing, smoking, salting, meat undergoes chemical changes. Specifically, compounds called N-nitroso compounds form. These are carcinogenic. Add heterocyclic amines, HCAs, from high-temperature cooking, and you've got compounds that damage DNA at the cellular level and actively promote cancer growth. Don't take my word for it. The World Health Organization classified processed meat as a Group 1 carcinogen in 2015. Same category as tobacco. Same category as asbestos. That's not opinion. That's the worldwide consensus of cancer researchers. I've reviewed the data extensively. A meta-analysis in the International Journal of Cancer examined 800 studies. Every single one showed the same pattern. Higher processed meat consumption equals higher colorectal cancer risk. Just 50 grams per day, 2 slices of deli meat, correlated with a 16% increased cancer risk. But there's something even more troubling. Processed meats trigger chronic inflammation in your digestive tract. Inflammation is like pouring fuel on cancer's fire. Inflammatory markers spike. IL-6, TNF-alpha, CRP. Your body's defenses get overwhelmed. It's not only colorectal cancer either. Harvard tracked 120,000 people over decades. Those consuming processed meat regularly had 22% higher heart disease risk, and 39% higher diabetes risk. But here's the cancer angle: significantly elevated risks for pancreatic and breast cancer. The worst part? These products are specifically engineered to be addictive. Manufacturers calibrate the sodium, fat, and preservatives to hit your reward centers. You're not just choosing to eat them, your brain is being hijacked. This one surprises almost everyone. Seed oils, canola oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, corn oil. These are everywhere. Salad dressings, baked goods, restaurant meals, processed snacks. Most people assume they're healthy. Most people are wrong. The problem nobody talks about: they're dangerously high in omega-6 polyunsaturated fats. Sounds technical, but it matters enormously. Our ancestors consumed omega-6 and omega-3 in roughly equal ratios. Today, the average person consumes 16 to 20 parts omega-6 for every 1 part omega-3. This imbalance is a metabolic disaster for cancer prevention. Here's why. Omega-6 polyunsaturated fats, when oxidized during processing and cooking, generate toxic compounds. These oxidized metabolites create oxidative stress and inflammatory signals that actively promote tumor growth. They also suppress your immune function. Your natural killer cells and T cells become less effective at detecting and eliminating cancer cells. Research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition shows this directly. High omega-6 to omega-3 ratios increase production of pro-inflammatory molecules, eicosanoids, that signal cells to proliferate and suppress apoptosis. Cancer cells need apoptosis suppressed. Seed oils essentially create that environment for you. Then there's oxidation. When seed oils are processed commercially, they form compounds like oxidized linoleic acid metabolites, OXLAMs. These are genuinely toxic. Animal studies show they promote cancer development. A Spanish study followed 4,400 people for 13 years, tracking oil consumption carefully. Those eating the most seed oils had 48% higher cancer risk than those eating the least. 48%. That's massive. The tragedy? The industry marketed these oils as heart-healthy and natural. They come from plants, so they must be good, right? Wrong. Processing destroys nutritional value and creates toxic byproducts. It's one of the greatest nutritional deceptions of our time. This one's going to upset some people. But I have to tell you the truth about alcohol. All of it. Beer, wine, spirits, not just excessive consumption, regular consumption, even the safe amounts. Here's what happens. Your body processes alcohol into acetaldehyde. This is toxic. It damages your DNA. It sabotages your body's ability to repair that damage. It suppresses immune function. Your natural defenses, killer T cells, macrophages, they all become less effective. It goes deeper. Alcohol elevates estrogen in women. It disrupts folate metabolism, which is critical for DNA repair. It triggers inflammation throughout your entire system. It damages your gut barrier, creating leaky gut, allowing bacterial toxins into your bloodstream. This triggers systemic inflammation and accelerates tumor growth. The research is unambiguous. The International Agency for Research on Cancer classified alcohol as a Group 1 carcinogen. The American Cancer Society estimates alcohol causes about 6% of all cancer deaths in the U.S. The BMJ studied 400,000 people. Their finding: even moderate drinking, 14 drinks weekly for men, 7 for women, significantly increases cancer risk across multiple cancer types. For women, even light drinking increased breast cancer risk. The dose response was clear: more drinking, higher cancer risk. What's particularly insidious: the alcohol industry spent decades promoting the idea that moderate wine consumption is heart healthy. They cherry-picked studies. The French Paradox marketing campaign was brilliant. It was also thoroughly debunked. Current research shows there is no safe alcohol level for cancer prevention. This applies to everyone. Acetaldehyde doesn't discriminate by gender. Your DNA doesn't care if damage comes from beer or wine. It's cumulative. Not one drink today. Years and decades of chronic exposure tomorrow. Last one. This might be the most surprising because people think they're making a smart choice. Artificial sweeteners, aspartame, sucralose, saccharin, stevia. These hide in diet sodas, sugar-free products, low-calorie foods, even healthy protein bars. The logic seems sound. No sugar means it must be better for cancer prevention, right? Biology doesn't work that way. Your gut microbiome doesn't recognize artificial sweeteners as food. It sees xenobiotics, foreign chemical compounds your ancestors never encountered. Your healthy bacteria gets disrupted. The bacterial composition shifts. Dysbiosis develops. And dysbiosis is directly linked to cancer development. Why? Because dysbiosis increases intestinal permeability, triggers inflammation, and compromises the gut barrier that's essential for immune surveillance. Nature published groundbreaking research on this. Non-nutritive sweeteners alter the composition and function of human gut bacteria in ways that increase glucose intolerance and metabolic dysfunction. Same problem you get from actual sugar. Different mechanism. Same result. You're trading one trap for another. Then there's the emerging data on direct toxicity. Some artificial sweeteners, when broken down in your gut, produce metabolites that promote cancer cell growth in laboratory studies. We don't have massive 20-year human studies yet, but the biological pathway is there, and the animal data is genuinely concerning. What's most disturbing? These products are marketed to cancer patients and diabetics, people actively trying to protect their health. Sugar-free, keto-friendly, guilt-free, it's marketing genius. It's just not truthful. Here's what I want you to understand about all of this. This isn't about perfection. This isn't about living in some nutritional prison, eliminating every bad food. That's not realistic. That's not my philosophy. What this is about, understanding the mechanisms, knowing why these foods promote cancer cell growth. Because when you understand the why, you make better decisions. You create a cancer-fighting environment in your body rather than a cancer-feeding one. If someone comes to me overwhelmed saying, "Dr. Lee, this is too much. I don't know where to start," here are my rules of thumb. Rule 1. Eliminate refined sugar and high glycemic processed carbohydrates. This is your biggest lever. Stop the glucose spikes. Stop feeding cancer cells their favorite fuel. Replace refined carbs with whole grains, legumes, and complex carbohydrates that don't spike blood sugar. Rule 2. Dramatically reduce or eliminate processed meats. If you eat bacon, deli meat, or sausage, make it occasional, not regular. When you want protein, choose whole sources, wild-caught fish, grass-fed beef in moderation, poultry, legumes. Your digestive tract will recover. Rule 3. Replace seed oils with healthier fats. Start using extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil. These don't have the omega-6 inflammatory load. You'll reduce systemic inflammation immediately. Rule 4. Minimize alcohol consumption. I'm not saying never drink, but if cancer prevention matters to you, and it should, alcohol is a liability. Every drink is a metabolic insult. Know that going in. Rule 5. Avoid artificial sweeteners. When you need sweetness, use whole fruits, raw honey in moderation, or real sugar occasionally. Don't trick your body with chemical substitutes. Your microbiome is smarter than that. But here's what I want to emphasize most strongly. This isn't just about avoiding damage. It's about what you add in. Eat colorful vegetables. Eat berries. Drink green tea. Move your body daily. These aren't nice-to-do things. They're active cancer-fighting strategies. Your body is an extraordinary cancer-fighting machine, but you have to give it the right fuel. Remove the obstacles. Create the conditions for health to win. If this information matters to you, if preventing cancer matters to you, you need to see my next video. I'm showing you the 5 foods that reverse the damage from these cancer-promoting foods. The healing foods. The research is revolutionary. Subscribe right now. Hit the notification bell. Don't miss the next one. Do you have someone in your life who needs this? A family member, a friend, someone you love making these choices? Share this video. Knowledge is power. Shared knowledge changes lives. All the studies I mentioned are linked in the description, plus a free guide, The Cancer Prevention Blueprint. Download it, share it, use it today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.